So the first quarter about to start here. A big game between Carlton and Essendon at the MCG in front of a huge crowd. We can tell you that Brad Pearce is not in the Carlton side. Coming in to take his place is Justin Murphy. He'll start on the bench. And for Essendon, their three emergencies are in. Morgan, Calthorpe and Wallace, at the expense of Chris Danaher, Peter Somerville and Russell, the third one missing for Essendon. Silvani's got the football.
Simons.
He gets back onto his right foot. Michael Simons is not playing for Essendon. Silvani's kicked the full forward. Mark at the back, taken by Berbatov.
Going to be a great battle between Silvani and Hurd. They're both going with one another, and the first blood goes to Silvani.
Good mark from Berbatov to settle down. Bit of pressure the first couple of minutes of these big games. 65,000 as Heaver takes Pryor.
I thought that was a little bit high. I don't know where the umpire was.
Good pressure, Scotty. Let it go. Good decision. Umpire David Howlett, right on the spot. Umpires David Howlett, number 1, 32 Darren Goldsmith, and number 5 Rowan Sawyers. As Hickmott under pressure to Ratton. Williams is caught with the ball from Barnard. Ratton now around the corner, but all on his lonesome. Gavin Wanganeen in defence for the Bombers. Change direction. Other side, he's got Masidi. Also the running Mercury. Ex-teammates at school. From Keilor, Mark Harvey. Rock of Gibraltar for the Dons. Pryor under pressure, does it well. Does it beautifully. Great vision to Masidi. Centre wing now. Silvani out on James Hurd. Great matchup. Mercury's followed up. Long sleeves. Couple of bounces down centre wing. Bomber fans very excited. First couple of minutes, it's through Kurtafidis. Buick out from goal to Julio. Good pressure from Carlton. Now it's Alessio's turn on his left. He's got Barnard if he can pick it up. Excellent tackle. Great start. Aaron Hamill, centre-half back, holding the ball.
That was a good tackle.
And Carlton started a little differently they did last week against Hawthorn. The initiative taken away from them last week, but they're certainly in there today. Oh, what a fly.
Terrific leap by Clappe. Hand pass. Came in from Whitehead to Silvani. Silvani's hand pass to centre-half forward. Allen in trouble. Run down was the centre player, Kurtafidis. Now, this is Hickmott. Hickmott from centre. Good kick. Beautiful kick. He's found Heaver.
I wonder what they're doing with Matt Allen. He may be going to the centre-half forward position after doing the ruck work. As you see here, the former Melbourne Rover, Brett Heaver, and he's certainly given them a bit of bite since he's come on. Also, this man, since going down to the forward line, who's a good, honest player for Carlton on their back line, that is Hickmott.
Heaver shoots for goal. The first goal of the match is to the Blues.
Yes, it's amazing what this mind can do, isn't it? You know, Carlton, as I remarked earlier, just weren't in the hunt last week against Hawthorn in the wet at Waverley, yet they've started differently today. There's Bradley getting run down. Good bump by Heaver. Hickmott, and then Heaver runs on. And there he is. It's good spotting.
First goal of the match to Brent Heaver. 1 goal to 0. The Blues win the ascendancy again out of the centre. It's a pretty hard and dry centre, considering the amount of rain we've had.
Well, they'd have their centre covered, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Actually, this ground is very, very dry. It's not in good condition, I don't think so.
They
Anyway.
might be playing a few too many games on it, Scotty, I think. Bounce the ball from Rowan Sawyers. Matty Allen over the top. Ratton gets the quick kick. Pressure's on now. Dustin Fletcher throws it on the boot. Gets a scraggly one. Only gains 10 metres. Harvey meets Williams with a beautiful hip and shoulder. Heaver, clever tap on. Camporeale, pressure is unsurmountable. Excellent vision over to Matty Allen, over his head though. Now has a bit of time to steady, throws it in short. Clappe, half volley, round on his left foot, round the corner. He got Kernhan on his own, steadies, through it goes.
Great start by Carlton.
Carlton second. Matter of 4 minutes, Kernhan won and Heaver won.
Yes, and all of those kicks were met. The one from Allen, although it was a grubber, went to Clappe, and Clappe in turn spotted Kernaghan. Now, these are intentional kicks, although they just didn't quite come off.
Didn't make the marks.
That was a good pick-up then, though.
Yeah, and there, this one here, although it didn't get there, the intention was right, and there it is. Well done, Carlton. A lot of composure under pressure.
And the Blues have kicked 2 goals. Essendon yet to score. The Bombers have had the ball up to their half-forward line on one occasion, just over it on another occasion when the tackle affected by young Aaron Hamill cut them out, and that attack was repelled. The ball to be bounced once again just a few metres away from the centre circle. Gee, the scene is set here for a terrific clash between these two sides. They've got a history of great contests. Kick forward by O'Donnell to centre-half forward. Great mark taken by Cockatoo Collins. Oh! Now that could have nearly been deemed as playing on, but the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
His umpire didn't move, Robbo. I think his body went.
Umpire Rowan Saws. We've probably got three of the most experienced umpires officiating today. Rowan Saws, Darren Goldspink and David Howlett. You'd have to say that they were in the top echelon of the umpires of today. Cockatoo Collins kicking from just a little less than 40 metres out, directly in front. Kicks for goal, and it is a goal. So Cockatoo Collins gets Essendon's first goal. Result of a good mark. Just off to the right there of Aaron Hamill. Carlton lead by 6 points.
Yeah, good positioning by Cockatoo Collins. O'Donnell setting it up. 4 goals last week, but he does go up and down as far as his form is concerned, Cockatoo Collins, but it's a hard position to play half forward.
Excellent start at the MCG. Finals atmosphere, over 60,000 people. 12 plays 6. 2 goals to Carlton, 1 to the Dons. Out of the centre it goes. Cockatoo Collins again in front of Hamill. Front position prevails. Pulled off an excellent tackle on Paul Barnard earlier, but Cockatoo Collins has showed him how to play
What
football.
Essendon are doing is changing on the half-forward line, O'Donnell and Hurd, and O'Donnell's out wide trying to pull Silvani out of the thing. Now the change has been made and Hurd's gone to the forward line. A little bit of ducks and drakes going on, the shifts occurring, the moves occurring.
Cockatoo Collins taking his time, will kick from 55 directly in front. It's not beyond him.
Take a good kick to score, I think.
Excellent conditions. He runs close to the mark. Goes the torp.
Oh!
It skews to the left.
It's great to see players confident in using the torpedo. It should be in their kit of armour.
You were such a brilliant torpedo punt kick.
Well, and drop kick as well. And I think with the state of the ground, the grounds now are such they could bring the drop kick back in.
Now, Carlton lead by 5 points. Stephen Silvani will just ignore that remark because if the drop kick ever came back, I think we'd just about give football away. Now, what's happened here? There's been a kick because it's just it's a non-percentage kick. The Blues have got the advantage here with the numbers. It's kicked out in front of Sexton and Cummings. Cummings a good handball, sets it up for Cockatoo Collins. Oh, lovely kick by Cockatoo Collins. Buick not having to change stride. Julio a little late on the scene. The Essendon supporters scream for a penalty, but Buick will kick from about 35 metres out, and the problem for Darren Buick will be the angle. He should get the distance quite easily. So after starting just a little slowly, the Bombers have kicked 1 goal 1. Carlton with the first 2 goals of the game, kicked by Stephen Kernahan and Brent Heaver. But this is Buick, the MCG, the scene of the great comeback game of Darren Buick this year when he kicked 8 goals. He's going for his first goal of the day. It is a goal. Essendon are in front. First goal of the day to Darren Buick. He's kicked 1. Cockatoo Collins has kicked 1. Essendon lead by a point.
Well, when I was a little boy growing up, I barracked for Essendon, and the full forward at that stage was Ron Evans, and he also wore number 8, as Darren Buick is doing here. There he is, the redhead from Western Australia. And as Ian said earlier, a terrific comeback game here at the MCG.
It's Essendon by a point, 2-1, playing 2 straight kicks. Koutafidis, one of the Carlton stars in 96, off to Williams. A lot of criticism towards him. Now Bradley on half forward, loves these sort of shots. Finds the space beautifully to Heaver. Excellent vision.
Yes, that was set up then. He looked, he hesitated, he waited and saw the Heaver lead and put it well out in front. That was good play by Bradley and a terrific kick.
Brent Heaver will line up for his second from about 40 metres. Slight angle. Kick looks pretty good, looks close. Kernahan marks it over the line. It's a goal to Carlton.
It's his second, Brett. All started getting the ball, I suppose, away from the centre. They actually didn't get it out. Koutafidis was the one who got it across to Williams. Then Carlton had players unmarked.
Williams too, weren't there? Williams and Bradley just too far out in the open.
Koutafidis was running off the edge too.
Heaver must kick goals in the forward pocket. Essentially plays in that area. Silvani's knocked forward. Bounce was a little bit awkward there for Hardwick. In goes Hickmott. He was good there to just hold it up. Hardwick not quite able to get away. Neither was Morgan. Handball, Mercedes. Wider still for Doolan. Doolan's been a terrific player for the Bombers over the last couple of weeks. And he's kicked in short. In front of Christou was Mercury. Run down there was Mercedes. Handball missed its target. Camporeale's gone. Now Alessio is on the left-hand point of the square. A free kick has been given away. It will go to Cockatoo Collins. Away to Doolan. Doolan's kicked to full forward, quite easily marked in front of Cummings by Michael Sexton. He's at full back and he kicks wide out towards the members' side of the ground. Matthew Allen has taken the mark, gives the handball away to Bradley. In turn he goes to Dulio. His kick in towards half forward. Oh, strong play by Harvey. Terrific football by Mark Harvey. He's kicked into the centre of the ground. Lovely little handball. Came from O'Donnell. Set it up there for Buick. Buick's kicked to full forward. Cummings drops the ball. Mercury, the crumb gatherer, can't take it away. Wallace is there. It's not clear enough though. Christou's kick. He throws it onto his left foot. And if that's not a sign of confidence lacking in Ange Christou, he's been playing some ordinary football over the last few weeks and he just threw it onto his boot.
And also an indication of the pressure. A lot of pressure down there on the Carlton back line.
Boundary throw in. Wallace gets rid of Allen. Umpire sees that as all clear. Camporeale to Williams. In turn to Bradley. The Blues go streaming down there. Another magnificent kick by Bradley to the face of Kernahan. Couldn't hold on to it. Pryor's handball for Wanganeen.
Feels like a final here at the G. Wanganeen finds Barnard on centre wing. He's got O'Donnell in the centre of the ground. Directed well. Half volley to Hurd, one of his first touches. Onto Alessio. Centre half forward, he wants to move it quickly. Keep the pace moving. Looking for Cummings. But chopped out by Brett Ratton. Ratton's got Williams, if you can see him. Tried to do the right thing, but it was a badly delivered kick. Kicked it straight to Cockatoo Collins, who was able to bottle it up on the half forward line for the Essendon Football Club.
Very difficult when you've got the kick to be taking a step backwards and then turn and decide to kick forwards with any sort of accuracy and precision.
Umpire Goldspink will bounce it on the 50. Allen and Alessio in front. Bradley unable to. Williams off the ground. Cummings looking for a free kick. Williams using his body. Morgan taken by the Carlton Sexton. Great pressure. Now it's Camporeale in the centre of the ground. He's got Hannah. Hannah can run and have a pick for the big ones. He does. The kick looks pretty good. That's close. But it's wide. Sticks Kernahan, unable to keep it in play. As Wanganeen runs into Heaver, and there might be a free kick right in the middle of the goal square. There certainly is.
That was great play on the back line. I should say in the square by Ratton. Ratton just stayed calm and spotted a teammate only 20 metres maybe away. We see there Wanganeen pushing Heaver away.
That's
just
not worth a kick. It's not worth a free kick.
No, that was another one, Robbo. He then pushed him onto the ground the second time. Heaver gets his third, and he got a 50-metre penalty for abusing that decision. Carlton, 4-1-25, leading Essendon 2-1-13.
And whether the Essendon runner will come out and speak to Gavin Wanganeen, here it is, there it is, and that is a free kick.
Well, that obviously was the second infringement against Gavin Wanganeen. The first one, there was nothing in the first one. But umpire Rowan Saws sees fit to award a free kick and accordingly a goal to Brent Heaver. He's kicked 3. So a magnificent opening to a game that looks like being an absolute beauty here at the MCG. Carlton lead 4-1 to 2-1. Bradley's kick to full forward has been marked on his chest by Fletcher. Fletcher comes to the members' side. Hurd has made good position. He plays on. Bradley just putting him off a little bit. The kick towards half forward will be gathered there by Ratton. Gets the hand pass away. This is Manton playing his 50th game. His kick will be marked by Bradley.
And against his old club too, so he'd be anxious to do well, Glenn Manton.
Bradley plays on with a handball over the top to Koutafidis, has to prop. He's caught by Barnard, excellent pressure. Whitehead caught, Sling throws the ball to the ground. Essendon fans calling for holding the ball. Mercedes now has a bit of time. To Pryor, pressure's on, throws it on the boot. A tumbling torpedo. Silvani over the back of the pack, thank you very much. Plays on quickly. Across the ground, going to the centre. There's an infringement against Hickmont on Hardwick for holding as Clappe took that mark.
Calthorpe giving a little bit of physical attention to Craig Bradley.
It's on all over the ground as Hardwick plays on quickly to Harvey. Direct kick, 50 metres down the centre of the ground. Silvani unable to take another specky. Buick trying to create something out of nothing. DeLulio to Williams. Look at that left hand. Excellent, bringing Ratton into the game. To Hamill now, wide. Hannah with a bit of pace in front of Fletcher. Excellent stuff from Fletcher. Punch over the top, long arms.
He's a good athlete, Fletcher.
Excellent
picking up a very quick and good player in Hannah. It's a mismatch as far as height goes, but he's still able to overcome that height deficit and match Hannah with his mobility. Fletcher.
In between centre wing and half back. Camporeale's caught. Hannah trying to bustle his way through the pack. They're throwing themselves in. It's great stuff. Good conditions. No breeze as Calthorpe, late inclusion to the Essendon side, slips into the centre half back and picked off by Aaron Hamill.
Hamill takes the mark. I don't know whether that kick was meant for Manton, but it found him just across that half back line. He's looking to give the hand pass away. Very well telegraphed in the finish. And quite simply knocked away there by Joe Mercedes.
Great smother, Robbo.
Some ordinary play there from Carlton. Just a couple of possessions across the half-back line and the ball out of bounds on centre wing on the outer side. The ruckman, Hurd, takes it out of the air, tries to get it across to Calthorpe. Succeeds. Calthorpe's kick is a high one. Back towards the centre of the ground. High leap by Koutafidis. A real struggle now. In goes Doolan in front of Hamill. Christou, little hand pass, not bad. Ratton for Koutafidis. He slips the tackle. Brilliant football by Koutafidis. He's kicked towards half forward. Magnificent take. Great grab there by Dustin Fletcher. Left half back for the Bombers.
Excellent grab from Fletcher. Finds now Morgan. Another late inclusion. 3 late changes for Essendon. Wallace is the other one with Calthorpe. Doolan, centre wing. Played every game for Essendon this year. Close to the boundary line. Excellent mark from Manton. Fletcher up one end, Manton up the other. Change of direction for Carlton off to Sexton. One of the most underrated fullbacks in the game. Excellent player, premiership player for Carlton.
Look at the 3 Carlton players out here.
DeLulio's one of those. You can slip it onto Camporeale on centre wing. He's got Williams inboard. Finds him. Williams now draws his man. Decides to kick. Finding Heaver. Slips through that chest mark. Harvey, desperate stuff. Throws it on the left boot. Looking for the boundary. Hickmont. Berbikov. Heaver takes him to the ground. Geez, the pace, Robbo.
I think that's an indication of how these players, the stakes that they're playing for. I mean, one team leads the other on the table by just 2 premiership points, and both of them are in, well, dicey situations as far as the finals are concerned.
Certainly. Carlton 4th and Essendon 7th on the ladder. They both all understand the benefits of finishing the top 4. Joe Mercedes unable to pick it up. Now he does. Back to Wanganeen. Gave away a critical free kick to Heaver for a goal earlier. Now to Doolan. Got a space over on this centre wing. The members stand side. Morgan chipping it around. Off to the running Wanganeen now through the centre of the ground. Gains valuable meterage. Pace from Wanganeen. Michael Long from 93 grand final. Slips it in. Only to be picked off by Sexton.
Really is a waste, isn't it? It really is a waste there, Don, when they have possession of the ball and then just kick it straight to the opposition. The kick out towards the half-back area. Hamill couldn't take the mark. This is DeLulio. His kick along the boundary line doesn't look all that bad. Chance here for Whitehead. He slips over, but he's able to regain his situation. Hamill just shrugs the Doolan tackle. Hamill's kick to half forward. Fletcher and Hannah, they're going to have a terrific battle. And a free kick has been picked out. It's against Hannah. It'll go to Fletcher. So a big job here for Mill Hannah against Dustin Fletcher. Lovely kick by Fletcher. It gets nearly to half forward. Nearly the mark taken by Matthew Allen. Tries to knock it for Manton's advantage.
A bit high, sure.
Barnard, then over the top of O'Donnell. No free kick. And the umpire will bounce. Gary O'Donnell just looking down bemusedly at Glenn Manton. No free kick. The umpire will bounce.
Justin Murphy warming up and going to come on for Carlton.
Who do you think he might replace?
Well, they're speaking to Manton. Colin Seary, the runner, speaking to Manton, so there may be a shift around down there.
Hurd taken high in a tackle from Silvani. Not deemed a free kick. Justin Murphy, another late inclusion. There's many of those.
Colin Seary's going to the forward line. It may be Hannah.
Bounce on centre wing. Allen and Alessio. Calthorpe, Stumpy Calthorpe, taken off the ground from Williams. Clever stuff to Clappe. Now Hannah. Evasive skills, excellent. Unfortunately about the kick, Calthorpe now sets him up to Harvey. Harvey under a bit of pressure, might have had a bit of time if there was some communication in that back line. Cockatoo Collins drawing his opponent, allowing Doolan now. Has Barnard on 50 on his own, can keep going and have a shot for the big ones. Kicks it long, goal square stuff, Cummings.
And it all set up by a very poor effort down here by Hannah.
And Hannah's off the ground and Murphy is now on. So just prior to being taken off, Hannah mucked up the play at half forward, and Cummings has got a real chance here. Take that mark. He had the drop on Sexton.
Cummings will kick right next to the goal square, but on a pretty tough angle, but should run around and should
Been
not
on
be
and off the bench recently. Cummings
should not be any trouble. Don. Essendon's third. Scott Cummings first for the day, and he's 36th for the year at full forward for Essendon.
and he's struggling a little bit, and here it is, Hannah. Hensey is off the ground. Actually, Doolan is deceptive in the way he runs. He paddles across or shuffles across the ground, but he is very quick, very fast.
Some great play in the finish there by Essendon to capitalise on a mistake by Hannah, a goal to the Bombers. Bounce, it favours Matthew Allen. He can't get clear. Heaver, Camporeale, not bad there, just to hold the ball up on Ben Doolan. And the umpire will be forced to bounce. It's, well, it probably hasn't progressed forward for either side, really. It's away from the centre circle, near the edge of the centre square. Kicked out of there by Ratton. Silvani able to take the mark, plays on quickly. Hickmott gets around and then kicks into the pocket. Well done, he's found Manton. Manton found some space there. He has been an absolute revelation for the Blues since crossing from Essendon. Disappointingly, he was allowed to leave his beloved Bombers. He was born very near the Windy Hill ground. And here he is now kicking for goal for Carlton. In the match of the day at the MCG, the kick is just offline and a behind to Glenn Manton. Member of the 95 Premiership team. Blues lead by 7 points, close to quarter time. They're 4-2,
jumping
Essendon
up.
3-1.
James Hird, by jumping up and contesting that hit out, let Silvani run free, and Silvani was the reason that ball got from midfield.
Pryor's short kick finding Fletcher, gaining about 15 metres. Things have settled down a little. It's been a hectic start. Morgan takes a good mark. Centre wing for the Bombers. He's got Harvey coming up from half-back, puts him under a bit of pressure, off one's foot. Harvey kicks long, inside 50, no one can take the mark. Cummings has hit the turf. Sexton along the ground. Now it's Barnard with a bit of time to get some help. Excellent shepherding from Cockatoo Collins. Hird sandwiched in a pack. Silvani, Cummings trying to do his best to keep the ball in play. Mercury throws it on his boot, out of bounds on the full.
2 3/4 minutes left in the quarter. So the free kick to be taken for the Blues in their left back pocket by Ronnie D'Ulio, and he's done pretty well since coming into this side, playing in defence. Alessio, Cockatoo Collins, O'Donnell gets around Ratton and then kicks with his right foot. Not bad either, in towards centre half forward. Punched away there by the Carlton defence, grabbed by Mercury, then to Morgan. Morgan's kick is a bit of an up and under. Cockatoo Collins got underneath it, couldn't take the mark. Christou gathers. Probably will take a punt, kicks across the full-back line and finds Hickmott. Hickmott can go down the ground. Williams has made good possession. He can just keep bouncing it, because if the player doesn't come to him, he can take all the time in the world. But eventually he pinpoints Williams from 50 metres. He in turn finds Matthew Allen, and that was precision football by the Blues. Matthew Allen just a little slow. He's knocked down by Hardwick. He's kicked the full forward. It's not taken there. It's knocked over by the Essendon defence. And a rush behind is scored for the Blues.
Good effort by Dustin Fletcher to get a fist there. There he is on screen. Number 31.
4-3 to 3-1. Just under 2 minutes left in the quarter.
Huey Mitchell's old number, 31.
Gee, you're reminiscing today, Don. You've got all those old Bomber numbers
I
out.
used to barrack for them as a boy.
What number was Greg Sewell?
9.
Mark Harvey wore number 38 in the early 80s. Now he's got number 1 on his back.
Let's get back to 1996, boys.
Stephen Alessio offloads to Calthorpe. Calthorpe wastes no time. Excellent pass, an excellent lead from James Hurd out from centre-half forward. A long way down from that position. Now kicking long, misdirected kick. Should have been marked from Hamill. Larry McCurry now to Calthorpe. Bustling stuff. Drew Williams throws it on the boot. Cummings slinging Sexton. Maybe should have been a free kick. Not by a Goldsmith. Has seen it. Free kick to Sexton. Scotty Cummings, have a look at the replay during the week, son.
You can't boo because the umpires are very much on the scene with this 3 umpire situation.
It's an excellent decision. Look at that. It's an Essendon supporters. Sexton. 50-metre kick. Nearly marked by Calthorpe. Well punched on from Bradley. Campbell Reale under pressure. He's got Ratton in support. 95 best and fairest for the Blues. Premiership year. Excellent stuff. Over the top of the pack, Berbatov with a clearing punch. Gains 30 metres. Now he's got Barnard, the ex-Hawk. Danny Morgan, well smothered by Williams. Working hard, Greg Williams, after criticism from last week. These conditions will suit him beautifully. Now creating a bit of space for Kuda-Fides in centre wing. Game slowed down a little. It's Kuda finding Murphy, unable to take the grab, but Fletcher throws it on the boot quickly. But out of bounds on the full centre wing for Carlton.
Hannah about to come back on for Carlton.
Sticks Kernahan.
Away from goal.
Twice premiership captain. Won't take the kick. It'll be to umpire Howlett is calling Justin Murphy will take the free kick. Murphy the late inclusion. 8 games, so this is 9th game for the year with a total of 20. The former Tiger will kick between centre wing and half forward for Carlton. Not long to go. Matter of just over 20 seconds left in this first term. It's a hectic one.
Good kick.
Kernahan inside 50. Beautiful lead. Excellent pass from Williams.
I think that's the plus of Greg Williams. With if you give him any sort of space at all, he's kicking with right or left foot. His hand passing with right or left hand is with precision. Kernahan with the last shot before quarter time. It won't register a score, I wouldn't think. The Bombers get back and kick it away from the full back line. So in a very, very entertaining first quarter here at the MCG, the Blues lead by 8 points. They're 4-3 to 3-1, and Brent Heaver is the leading goal scorer on the ground. He's kicked 3 for the Blues. Dustin Fletcher. So the second quarter about to start. The first term saw 7 goals kicked. 6 of those were in the first 13 minutes of the quarter. So a little bit of tightening up from there on when only 1 goal was kicked, and that was by the Bombers. So a chance now for Essendon to get clear. Pryor under a bit of pressure. Hardwick's handball. That kick was a missed kick. Finishes with the Mercedes. Oh, down goes Morgan. The tackle was quick and fierce. Hickbot in there with the football underneath. Oh, not able to go anywhere, and the umpire will bounce.
Hannah playing a centre-half forward, being picked up by Harvey. He went off. He was earlier playing on Dustin Fletcher, or Dustin Fletcher was early playing on Hannah. A lot of players around this ball in the centre. Very hard centre. Cricket pitch area. You can see there they're pushing and shoving.
Well, there's certainly a lot of spirit between these two clubs. Great football clubs for a long, long period of time in the VFL and now the AFL. And they would both really, really want to win this game. I know that when you play a game of football, you desperately want to win, but there's some tremendous feeling between these two clubs. Kuda-Fides kick towards half forward. Bounces very, very awkward. Well done by Heaver. Hand pass into the path of Manton. Back to Heaver. York on in all sorts of strife, and that tackle should be rewarded. The advantage maybe with the Bombers now. Mercedes from right half back.
Mercedes shoots the handball over to Barnard. He's got 10 metres clear. Bradley now moving in on him. Throws it on his boot. Cummings has the front position. Well punched from Sexton. Now it's Mercedes. Calthorpe now. He's taken the long sleeve jumper off he had on a quarter in the first term.
Good roving by Calthorpe. Good anticipation. Not an easy thing to do there. Come in and rove the pack.
Ange Christou giving a bit of a hand signal there in the goal square, just in case you missed it. Not a good-looking kick, but he gets the distance. Hamill, a big flyer. Oh, and the second grab takes an excellent mark. Disposal doesn't match the skill of the grab, but now giving Julio the chance to Bradley. From 70 metres, a short kick. Justin Murphy.
What a great hands that was.
Chipping in front of Kernahan.
Kernahan would have taken that had Murphy not.
What do you like about that, Don? Do you have any feeling that because Murphy had only eyes for the football, chipped in front of the captain, is that good?
It doesn't matter.
You don't read anything into that?
No, that's excellent play. Backed his judgment. He'll kick from 45.
Oh,
and he's put it through to boot. I don't think Steve Kernahan will mind about that one.
Coming off the bench, Murphy is going to call in Pearce. Former Richmond player here, the build-up once again. Julio, who has really come alight this year, started very well after crossing initially from Box Hill, playing as a half-forward, and now playing down back. It's really started to come on.
And Bradley, once upon a time, was signed by the Bombers. Now causing havoc against them in the navy blue and white. Ratton, Bradley, Camporiali, his kick across his left shoulder will bounce in a vacant half-forward area. Murphy goes back, and well done by Fletcher.
It's a very good and quick reflexive handball by Carlton in the centre to get that ball out. And Allen, I should say, Matthew Allen.
Well, if you put them all together, it is Mellon.
Doing well against Alessio at the centre bounce downs.
And it's great to see, because I think Matthew Allen is he's been an apprentice in this Carlton lineup for a long, long time. Hickmott leaves it behind. In hard goes Hardwick, but the umpire decides on a bounce about 40 metres from the Carlton goal.
Umpire David Howlett calling the blood rule.
Matthew Allen back here at centre-half back. Obviously, his instructions are just to run with Alessio.
Well, earlier it was Allen going down to the forward line, or playing across Carlton's half-forward line, who was putting the pressure on Essendon, but he was picking up Alessio. Hardwick going off. Give a go at Hardwick.
Taking his time, as he's allowed to, as Justin Blumfield will take his position. Blumfield from Tuggeranong ACT, playing against Aaron Hamill, who is also from Tuggeranong ACT, Robbo.
Very well done, Russell. I knew you wanted to get that one in from early today.
Yeah, what if they played on the same side together? Kernahan putting the ball into the corridor, allowing Wanganeen with a bit of time. Clever evasive skills. Cockatoo Collins, some good volleyball stuff, but's been watching the Olympics. James Hurd's come down from centre-half forward to get a kick, only to find Sexton in his way. Excellent work from Masidi to hold him in. Now Sexton gets it to Hamill from Tuggeranong ACT. Masidi now to McCurry, ex-teammates at Keilor. Straight on the chest of Alessio.
It was a good effort by the big fella then to get down at to about ankle height.
Excellent stuff. Stephen Alessio will kick from about 45 metres. Might as well be directly in front. And line up for his first for the day. Also his 9th for the year. Kick looks pretty good from Stephen Alessio. The Bombers love it. They've now got their 4th on the board. And it's back to 7 points the difference.
Well, Hurd seems to go down to the back line now. Alessio's going forward. We'll just see if that play continues. Hurd was in for the last bounce down. Now Hurd's gone to half-forward. So a lot of changes going on in the ground at the moment.
Good tackle by Kelthorpe in that passage of play to set it up for the Bombers. 5-3 to 4-2, Carlton lead. Knockout by Alessio, taken by O'Donnell. O'Donnell's kick to full forward, knocked away by Christou. Taken by Hamill, hand pass to Sexton. Sexton, great smother off the boot by James Hurd. Brownlow medal favourite and playing inspired football for the Bombers. Masidi Back to Morgan. Morgan gets around onto his right foot and very, very skillfully kicks into the pocket, but just a fraction too high there for Cummings, and it goes over for a boundary throw in left forward pocket.
And the beauty of that smother by Hurd was the fact that he followed up, got the handball. Also, another thing is the quickness of Joe Mercedes. I know Mercedes been playing for a long time, but very quick in his reaction, Mercedes.
And Bradley trying to go back with Mercedes. Calthorpe obviously under instructions to pick Bradley up. This is O'Donnell from 40 metres. It'll score. Just to behind. Touched there by the flying Ange Christou. 5-3 to 4-3. Carlton lead by 6 points, and Christou prepares to kick it back in for the Blues.
And a good kick it is, because he finds the 50-gamer, Glenn Manton. Manton cleverly off to Bradley. Finding too much space, Bradley, for Essendon's
well
likes.
done.
Oh, Fletcher, excellent mark, running back with a fly to the ball. Excellent mark, courage.
Gee, Milhana could have just run at a little bit quicker pace then.
Fletcher sends it back from whence it came. Good fly from Blumfield, unable to keep the mark. Whitehead, excellent hands off to Campbell Reale. Bit of speed now from Scotty from 55. He's got an empty goal square. All he needs is a kind bounce, but poorly directed. Fourth behind the Blues, taking them to an 7-point lead. 5-4 playing 4-3. 8.5 minutes we've played in this second term. Started off in a cracker pace in the first quarter. As Robbo mentioned, 6 goals kicked in the first 13 minutes. And now it's tightened right up. And Dustin Fletcher will kick out from goal.
He kicks out to half back. Good mark. Excellent mark taken by Morgan. He was nearly run down by Campo Reale. Gets the handball to Pryor. Pryor's little left foot kick is with precision and finds Doolan. Doolan is at left half back. Cockatoo Collins provides the lead. He kicks in that direction, and Cockatoo Collins takes it very skillfully in front of Hamill. Kicked 4 goals against the Tigers last week. He's kicked towards half forward, knocked away from Hurd, gathered by Ratton. Really, not really to the advantage there. Williams hand pass. Silvani was the player that Ratton was looking for. Stephen Silvani had fallen over, and nothing happening out of that passage of play for the Blues. Boundary throw in just forward of centre wing, favouring the Bombers. Carlton lead 5-4 to 4-3.
An instinctive handball too by Ratton. That's why it didn't come off.
Matthew Allen gets his right fist to it. The ball spills. This is a free kick to Carlton to be taken by Adrian Whitehead. He's on centre wing. He could kick to Manton in the middle of the ground. No, he's being picked up pretty quickly by Blumfield. Now Whitehead kicks in towards centre half forward. No mark. The ball hits the ground. Hickmott dispossesses there Morgan. Hickmott with the footy in amongst there. Umpire will bounce.
Is he wearing your old number, Robbo, is he, Whitehead?
No, that was B. Quirk, one of the all-time stars at Carlton. Brian Quirk wore number 32. Ronnie Diulio's got the magical number 34.
34.
So the bounce of the ball at centre half forward, taken by Murphy. Finds a bit of space. Williams, well, is he being tackled there by the leg? He was. His hand pass was blocked, which was well done by the Bombers, but Williams has the free kick. He kicks across the half-forward line, looking for Kernahan, flies high. Kunafides bursts through, beats Barnard, and kicks a goal for the Blues. So an inspirational bit of football there by Carlton. First of all, the captain flying high, not able to take the mark. The crumbs are gathered by Kunafides.
And Kernahan, I was more impressed with the fact that he got up so high. He's just starting to come back into a little bit of form. Kernahan, if he could take a couple of those or one of those, it'll probably give his confidence a big lift. There he is. It was well roved once again by Kunafides, playing around midfield or centre wing. Anthony
Kunafides shares some pretty special company, being signed up by Adidas, along with Gary Ablett.
See, what a luxury. 6'4" and can run 400 metres in about 48 seconds or something, playing on the wing.
It's exceptional. Alessio gets the knockdown to Morgan. Now a chance for the Bombers to reply as Barnard sends it long into the goal square. Hurd and Sexton jostling for position. Now it's O'Donnell, throws it on his boot. Cockatoo Collins a chance, but an unkind bounces. Ronnie Diulio sees it over the line.
Actually, that's the thing about the surface of the MCG. When, Don, you were talking about it being maybe ordinary, The bounce of the ball can be awkward on these circumstances.
There's some soft grass here, Robbo, just where they're taking that throw in, and also some sand. Seen a lot of football this year. That's why we saw the reserves being played at Punt Road next door between Carlton and Essendon, with Essendon being the victors by 7 behind.
Well, this ground really hasn't recovered since they had the ball of the big marquee at centre field for that centenary ball earlier.
Alessio with the banana kick. Cockatoo Collins, clever, keeps it alive. But Manton issues its last rites and sends it over the line for a behind. 12 points to Carlton. As Christou plays on quickly and finds Brent Heaver on left half-back.
Heaver, who has kicked 3 goals for Carlton, and in a game where you would think there won't be much in it at the final siren, that might be an important contribution. The kick out near the wing has been taken by Hannah. Hannah a long way down the ground. He started up in the full forward area. James Hurt chips in, takes the mark. This turnover important for Essendon. James Hurt's kick towards full forward. At the back, punched away by Christou rather. Silvani now. He's been grabbed too high by Cummings. Maybe the advantage with the Blues. Away they go. Sexton's kick is terrific and finds Williams. What can Williams do with this? He kicks it to a one-on-one. You just about back Kernahan. He's up against Berbatov, but Berbatov does well. Whitehead. Oh, there's a real challenge here for the Bomber defence, and they're up to it. Berbatov sees it over for a boundary throw in left forward pocket for Carlton.
Well, that was terrific play by the youngster. There he is, 51, Berbatov. Just to be able to match it there. It's a terrific effort.
So the boundary throw in, Kernahan to do the ruck work, up against Peter Berbatov. Kernahan knocks it to the back, but this is Wanganeen, finds some space for himself. Handballs across the full-back line, finds Harvey. Little bit of dancing there by Harvey was terrific. Out into the path of Doolan. Doolan back onto his right, then hand passes with the left. The bounce important here for Mercedes. Not bad, into his path, didn't have to change too much stride. Calthorpe, back to Mercedes. Mercedes from the centre of the ground, the kick is all right. Sexton gets there just in time to intercept on the Cummings attempted mark. Sexton to Dudulio. He just fumbled it a little bit. Then his kick has been smothered. Barnard's kick, very important here. Hamill just sees it over. Did it come off his shins? It is a boundary throw-in the right forward pocket for Essendon. And again, some frenetic football by both sides. This game is being played at a terrific pace. Carlton have a 2-goal advantage. They're 6-4 to 4-4.
Alessio and Matty Allen jostling. Now Cockatoo Collins throws it for the banana. Could be a miraculous goal to Cockatoo Collins. It is. That's his second.
And that goal was just something special. Special with a capital S.
It's a team lifter, Donny. A team lifter.
Just watch this. If you watch it, he's in the foreground there. The way he's kicked that ball, the ball across his body, and then sending it about at 90 degrees to where he was facing and putting it straight through the goal. Buick off as Hardwick comes back on, but that was just a sensational goal, if not the goal of the year.
Buick not happy about that either.
It's back to 6 points the difference. Back to the centre. Whitehead and Pryor. Wanganeen on the bottom of the pack. Jumps to his feet like a cat. Throws it on his boot. And beautifully marked from Mercury.
Everybody else was looking. Mercury taking a relatively, or what turned out to be a relatively easy chest mark.
Very like Peter Hudson-like. He used to do that, Donny, in the middle of a pack, take it on his chest.
Whitehead could have gone a little bit harder in the centre square then. He just hesitated as the ball came out. Hence Essendon finished up with the ball.
Mercury directly in front from 40 metres. Scores the level here at the MCG.
First goal kicked for the day by Mark Mercury, levels the scores, 10 minutes left in the second term.
Well, this was a passage of play where Whitehead could have gone just a little harder. Wanganeen taking it, and look, everybody has looked at the ball. Mercury's taken an easy chest mark and converted, his first.
Very important centre clearances on a day like today.
Well, it is important now because they both sides open up the front end of the square, so it's important the guys coming up the sides get in and get the ball out.
Ruck contest, Alessio gets it down, kick clear by Ratton, out wide to half forward, Mercedes and Hickmott. Well done by Mercedes, keeps his footing. Left foot kick along the boundary line, and a good mark, excellent mark taken down here by Damien Hardwick. Sliding over and crashing into the fence. He's kicking towards centre-half forward. James Hurd and Silvani. The ball gathered beautifully there by Morgan. Now he gets it to Wanganeen. He puts the Bombers in front, but it's just by a behind. Wanganeen has lifted around the middle of the ground. He's had a couple of important possessions as Gavin Wanganeen. 7 kicks and 1 hand pass. Essendon by a point.
He had a chance to lift the grandstand, Robbo, if he'd put that through. The Bomber faithful would have gone crazy. It's Christou, drives it wide. The running Allen loses his feet, allowing Alessio a chance now. Good pressure from Sexton. Dean Wallace is back on the ground, finding Pryor. Centre wing, he has a chance to steady. James Hurd's got 2 players on him. Excellent punch from Silvani. Now it's Williams. Justin Murphy has Hickmott to run into an open goal. If he can steady, he can put it through. Kick looks pretty good. Excellent courage by the Essendon defence.
That was interesting play, because what I saw then, the Essendon runner Brian Wood going out to Wanganeen and telling him to get back down the ground. Now it's all right going down, but you've got to get back, because Heber was by himself. Then that caused a little bit of a turnover. Hence, Hickmott was out by himself because Wanganeen had gone down the ground, and there had to be a reshuffle on the Essendon back line.
Pryor misses the kick out. Mercedes didn't provide a very good option for him. Now Carlton are back in it. Whitehead tackled well. Excellent heavy work from Mark Harvey. Took Bradley out of the picture, literally. Great pressure from Harvey. That's experience, isn't it, Robbo? That's tough stuff.
Well, I think you've got to make your presence felt in a game like this. I think it's very important.
Scores a level here at the MCG. Matty Allen, left-hander to Kernahan. Back to Bradley, round the corner. Just finding Gavin Wanganeen in front of Brett Heber. And a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, unnecessary, completely unnecessary.
A lot of emotion here at the G.
I thought it was a bit soft, really.
Well, you don't have to run into the guy. You can see he's going to take the chest mark.
Yeah, but that's the rule. And if that's the rule, that's the rule. And regardless whether it's soft or not, but that is the rule. Gavin Wanganeen.
It's a game of men, not boys.
With the advantage of that 50-metre penalty. Looking for Hurd, but Manton the better, the 50-gamer. Celebrating it with an excellent mark in front of James Hurd.
Could give the hand pass off here to Hickmott, but he decides to go long. Kicks in towards centre-half forward. Kernahan in front. No mark taken. The crumbs. Just slight ball handling error there by Hickmott. Cost him, but the tackle by O'Donnell was unfair. So the umpire deems that a free kick to Hickmott. The Blues have made a change. Turner on and Hannah off as Hickmott kicks towards full forward. Back there, Kernahan, Koutafidis. The crumbs nearly gathered by Murphy. Koutafidis in the square, and Fletcher, meritoriously for the Bombers, gives away a behind when danger signs were there for the Bombers. 3 rush behinds to Carlton. They lead by a point, 7 3/4 minutes left in the first half. It has been a terrific game of football so far between two sides whose aspirations would be to participate successfully in 6 or 7 weeks' time in the 1996 finals. That kick in, oh, spectacularly! Koutafidis' mark of the day so far. Williams to half forward. Murphy drops the mark he should have taken, then looked. Alessio just bluffed him out of it in the finish, and a golden opportunity goes begging for the Blues.
And here it is set up. This is where Murphy just takes his eye off the ball there.
So the bounce of the ball at half forward for the Blues. Not clear, but only to the hands of Mercedes. His quick kick goes out towards the wing. The race is on here between Blumfield and Manton, and the boundary umpire will throw it in on centre wing.
Robbo, it's amazing the stark contrast between the quality of the mark between Murphy dropping that one and earlier in front of Kernahan. 1 grab.
Unbelievable.
Just proves everyone's human. It's Matty Allen. Out bustles Hurd. Doolan using strength. Now Bradley has had plenty of the ball today. Had an excellent game for Carlton. Good punch from Fletcher. Pryor. He's found that back pocket position for Essendon. Now he's got Wanganeen on his own. He's got an unkind bounce. It allows Koutafidis now from 40 metres. Open goal. Thank you very much.
That's the bounce of the ball that I was talking about earlier. Now that is fickle.
But that's the unpredictability of the game, Robbo. That's what it's all about.
Well, I think that you've been playing for about 3 weeks on wet grounds where the players are a little bit used to the ball bouncing maybe into their path. This is just incredible.
But that's the team that adjusts to the conditions the best. Kurtafidis did. Look at that. Excellent finish.
Gives the Blues a 7-point advantage.
Back to the centre, David Howlett, the umpire number 1. Excellent atmosphere. Kevin Sheedy very pensive. Alessio wins that one only to Ratton. Kernahan in front of Fletcher. Excellent work now, bouncing back into Fletcher's hands. He's got Barnard, who had a look, had a step. Now he's off to Masidi. 1 step, 1 kick. It's high inside 50. Excellent mark from Sexton, not paid. Umpire calls play on. It's Goldspink.
Kicked out of there by Dulio, out in the direction of Matthew Allen and Barnard. This is a very important possession here. Well done, Barnard. Gets through for the Bombers, kicks towards half-forward, they can raffle it. Oh, great mark taken by Manton. I spoke about him being a revelation for the Blues. He is certainly an important part of this Carlton lineup. His kick out towards the wing. Looks out there for Allen. Up over the top was Kurtafidis. Handball Allen. Handball Ratton. In turn, running support provided by Dulio. Dulio's kick to full forward. No mark taken.
Oh,
that was by Turner. Kick back by Pryor. Pryor, no one home for the Bombers. Mark taken by Ronnie Dulio. He looks to play on. He can pass short, and it's successful. It finds Turner. He's too far out to score. He's probably 2 kicks from goal. He'll put it into the danger area as far as Essendon are concerned. Great mark taken by Hickmott, right at the end of the square.
4 deep, Robbo, from behind.
Well, he was a terrific player against Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. I think he kicked something like 5 or 6 goals against Adelaide. Oh. And a great mark taken by Adrian Hickmott. He should kick his first goal for the day and the Blues 8th. He comes in, punts for goal and kicks truly.
Well, it gives Carlton a little bit of breathing space. Good handball and use of the handball on centre wing there. Allen getting involved. There was also Ratton. This is Turner's big kick. It finished up with Turner, that little passage of play I was talking about. Very good, crisp handball by the Carlton side. Hickmott.
Excellent effort.
That's his first.
And he's 8th for the season.
1 goal, 1 he's kicked today, Adrian.
13 points the difference. Umpire Darren Goldspink has the ball in the middle. Might be the biggest margin so far today. It's nearly half-time. Allen, the winner, but Alessio, the smarter, keeping his feet on the ground and receiving the ball. Manton using his body. Blumfield. Christou, good defence from Carlton, bottling it up, waiting for support to come in.
Gee, your heart's in your mouth when you see something like that happen. Christou with the ball underneath, tries to tap it clear and rebounds back underneath, and you can nearly be penalised.
Diesel spending a bit of time on the bench before half-time, and Justin Murphy replacing him going down to the forward line. Alessio taking it out of the ruck, caught by Silvani. Gleeson's on the field. Hurd, a quick kick, but it's too wide. Out of bounds on the full. Oh, slowed down a little, but it's still very hectic. Sexton drives it over the 50-metre line. Well punched by Blumfield towards their goal. Doolan unable to keep it in. Adrian Gleeson let it go. Doolan had a nice old altercation with Craig Kelly a few years back, didn't he? Robbo lost his teeth.
Yes, I think there's a few in Craig Kelly's right elbow.
In front of the Bobby Rose stand in Victoria Park. I think they're still looking for the teeth in the grass. Alessio swoops it down with that left hand, allowing Pryor on his left boot, swings it around to the corridor. Julio unable to take the mark. Mercury, clever vision now to Dean Wallace. Can he finish off? Good pressure from Carlton. That was Christou. Going to be off the ground from Ratton. Rush behind to Essendon. Back to 2 straight kicks.
Good pressure by the Carlton Blackmen on that occasion. Really did stand up.
Well, we haven't seen a real avalanche of goals kicked, just 14.
Campbell Rally is off and Hannah back on for Carlton. And Hannah's going on to centre wing.
Christou to kick it in. Blues lead by 12 points. Christou now being asked by the central umpire to kick quickly. He does. It gets it outside 50. And a great mark taken by probably Carlton's most improved player over the last 3 or 4 years, Michael Sexton. He is a stalwart in that Blues defence. Nice long kick too. Gets nearly up to the half-forward line. Kernahan from behind. He's getting his hands on a few. Can't mark it. Bradley receives from Hannah. Hannah's kick towards centre half-forward. Big punch provided by Harvey over the top. And it goes to the line.
Does a lot of confidence for the back line when a big punch like that, Robbo, especially a 30 or 40 metre punch out of bounds.
Well, he's been a good player for Essendon too. He's been faced with a lot of problems with injury over the years. Played his first game when he was only just a 17-year-old, way back in something like 1983-84. Kernahan doing the ruck work. Masidi beaten for it. Kernahan goes in again. Murphy for Ratton. Not bad by Murphy. His kick is all right too. Good hands provided by Whitehead, but back near the boundary line, Justin Murphy is to receive the congratulations from Ratton and Brent Heaver. And the kick is with Whitehead. So always you see a goal kicked, but it's the hard work provided by teammates down the ground that sets it up. And on this occasion, Whitehead will get the goal, you would think, from only 30 metres out, slight angle, and he pops it through for a goal.
Well, it gives Carlton just a little bit more breathing space just going into half-time. There's only 2.5 minutes left before half-time. And there he is, the boy from the New South Wales border area of Wodonga, Albury-Wodonga. Whitehead, Adrian. And there it is, a good centering kick by Brett Ratton. He does well, and he covers a lot of ground, Ratton.
9 kicks and 7 hand passes to Ratton.
Umpire Howlett bounced the ball with Carlton leading by 3 goals. Just under 3 minutes left in the half. Off the ground from Ratton. Again, another stat. The 95 best and fairest at Carlton. Mark Harvey threw with strength, throwing it onto his left boot, but kicking high, allowing Hannah.
Should have punched from behind then, Hannah.
Trying to take the mark, as Don called. Unable to do so. Christou with a high ball towards 50. Kernahan looking for the chest mark over the top of the pack. But Mark Harvey relieving pressure for the Essendon, giving it to Wanganeen. He runs his full measure. Well shepherded from Barnard was one of Carlton forward. Heaver was chasing. But Blumfield, umpire David Howlett has called a free kick. Will go to Cockatoo Collins.
Gee, they were a bit stiff. The advantage might have been paid there.
Yeah. Offloads to Pryor quickly. They want to get the ball moving. Wallace trying to push out Sexton. But Sexton's too good for him. One of the best fullbacks in the business, Michael Sexton, takes the mark.
Called it then, Russell. He was pushed into it, Sexton, by Wallace. It was a good effort by Sexton to maintain his balance.
Off to Gleeson. Spent a lot of time in the twos in the last 18 months for Carlton. But a premiership player in 87. Beats everyone. Centre wing, throw in.
One of the most popular players at Carlton is Adrian Gleeson, and he suffered a bad knee injury early last year. And just a real struggle for him to get back to this level. It's as though a bit of rain might be falling here at the MCG as well now. Ratton with the football underneath Damien Hardwick, and the umpire will call for a bounce on centre wing. So the Blues leading by 18 points with about a minute and a half left in this second quarter. It has been a very, very interesting struggle for both sides. Gleeson gets his foot to it, kicks it. Murphy. Very, very ordinary fumble, but he's able to recover. Whitehead tackled by Harvey, well done. Sets it up for Hurd, and away go the Bombers. This is Calthorpe. Handball over the top. Mercedes going to get run down. Gleeson was the tackler. In trouble was Hardwick, and the tackle not rewarded. Stephen Silvani appealing for it. Gary O'Donnell breathes a sigh of relief, and the umpire will bounce.
That Mercedes handball, Donny, not necessary. Putting, no, who was it? A handball.
It was Calthorpe to Mercedes,
yeah, unnecessary.
James Hurd gets it out. This is Barnard, out for Doolan. Doolan's kick is a little short. Gee, kept his eyes on it, Hamill. So did Wallace. In goes Michael Pryor. Shot for goal by Pryor has just missed when the Bombers really could have done with a goal.
Justin Fletcher may have hurt himself after tumbling for that mark. He was on the lead there, nearly took it. Very slow getting to his feet.
Just under 30 seconds left in this first half as umpire Goldsmith decides to call it back and give Christou another kick. There's Fletcher. Sucking the air in.
Carlton are playing the huddle right in the square. Usually they bunch at centre-half back or centre-half forward.
They might be leading forward, Don, if we watch it.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting one, this.
Yep, there's Bradley leading forward. Christou ignores him, looking for DiIulio, who leads wide and finds him with a beautiful kick. Carlton have gained about 150 metres as DiIulio sends it up towards the 50-metre line. Hickmott with their big flyer, but an excellent punch again from the Essendon defence, being Danny Morgan.
I think we might start to see longer kicks from full back now. A lot of teams could see they'll give away the first one into the pocket, then go. But why not kick like Carlton did on that occasion? Look where the ball is, up on the forward line very quickly.
Throwing on Carlton's right half forward. Matty Allen over the top. Hardwick towards the boundary under pressure. Has to hook the ball around on his left boot. He does with a floater, allowing Whitehead running with the flight of the ball. There'll be another bounce. David Howlett signals the end of the game with the two hands in the air. With an excellent first half between traditional rivals Carlton and Essendon. Very tough first half, very fast pace. And we'll go through the goal kickers. Brett Heaver kicked 3 first quarter goals. Kernahan kicking one in the first term. Hickmott with an excellent mark 4 deep in the pack, kicking one in that second term. Justin Murphy won, Whitehead won, Koutafidis won. And the Essendon side, Mercury with 1, Buick 1, Cockatoo Collins with 2, Alessio and Cummings both with singles, Robbo.
So I think, I don't want to sound as though I'm just jumping over the top of you, Russell, but I think Anthony Koutafidis has kicked 2 goals for the Blues.
I might have missed one.
You might have missed one there, but certainly a very, very interesting first half. Don, you can tell that there's a lot of spirit between these two clubs. I mean, they've had a tremendous rivalry over a long, long period of time. And at this stage, the 17-point advantage for the Blues, you would think it's not much, is it?
I was just going to say, it's not going to be much because there's a lot of spirit in this game, and the way that ball's moving up and down the ground, that 17-point deficit could be turned into a margin that Essendon could overcome, and it's not a great margin, but
do you see fitness, the ability to run the game right out?
I think that both sides are fit. I think it's a matter of who wants the ball a little bit more, and at this stage it's Carlton, although Essendon can't be denied because they've come back into this game. So it's just a matter of who really does want to win this game.
Well, we've seen some tremendous physical clashes so far in this game, and I think there's more to come after the half-time break. At half-time, the Blues lead by 17 points. They're 9-6. Essendon are 6-7. So the second half about to start here at the MCG. Carlton have the advantage at half-time. They lead by 17 points. Not much in the stats, 92 kicks each. 57 handballs to the Blues, 60 handballs to Essendon, 39 marks to the Blues and 32 marks to Essendon. Chance for Hardwick. Now Alessio, his kick falls short. Koutafidis, a handball over the top. Ratton gets the ball further forward. Kernahan for Whitehead. Now Wallace, Mercedes, Hardwick. They're in all sorts of strife at half forward. Hickmott gets it out wide, very wide. Murphy tries to get it out to Heaver. Now the ball with Buick to Morgan. Morgan across the half-back line. Now Essendon have got a chance. Out here on his own is Barnard. He bounces once and gets close to the wing and then kicks towards half-forward. No one home there for Essendon. And the mark is taken by Manton for Carlton.
Kernahan now at centre-half forward. Wallace is his man and Turner at full forward, being picked up by Berbikoff.
Short kick by Manton has been marked by Koutafidis. Just having a look downfield. He will kick in the direction of Stephen Kernahan, you would think. It falls short, punched away, not far enough. Ratton goes to ground. Top stuff by Mercedes, tries to get it to O'Donnell. Harvey gathers and then forced to kick quickly with the left, not too bad. It will bounce in front of Mark Mercury. He's about to be tackled by Christou. Christou goes after it again. He's in there, helped out by his mate Koutafidis. The ball spills now for Lucas. Lucas on the ground. He's kicked towards full forward, should be marked, and is by Fletcher. So Fletcher, who started the game on the full back line for Essendon, it looks as though he may be at full forward at the start of the second half.
Seen Lucas a couple of times. He does impress. He was the man who got that ball down with the left foot down to Fletcher. Fletcher's, as Ian just said, started on the back line, was moved there halfway through the second quarter to the full forward position. He's got a chance, and this is the second time he's really got away from Sexton.
Well, he's a pretty reliable kick, Dustin Fletcher, but not on this occasion. Really didn't kick that with a lot of deliberation. Tried to just toe poke it and scored it behind. Not the start that the Bombers would have been looking for early in the third term. Christou to kick it in for the Blues.
The lights on here at the MCG, very, very dark indeed.
Also overcast as Christou drives it up the centre of the ground to find Ratton.
Lucky.
Very lucky.
He had 17 possessions in the first half, Brett Ratton. Offloads to Williams. Execution excellent to Whitehead. Adrian Whitehead from Wodonga. Kicked a goal in the first half. Drives it long inside 50. Kernahan looking for the sit. Excellent grab to Kernahan, not paid by umpire Goldspink. Didn't hold it long enough.
When he starts taking those Kernahan, he'll be back in business. He's just not staying there at the moment. He jumped well earlier. Look, he should have taken that.
Just
more or less controlled it halfway down.
Just one mark to Stephen Kernahan so far in the game.
It's a bounce. 35 metres out from the Carlton goal. Heaver kicked 3 first quarter goals. Looking for his 4th. Held without the ball. Umpire calls play on. Wanganeen running into trouble. Doubles back. Looking for a bit of pressure relief. Finding Scott Lucas to provide that for Essendon. Short chip over the top to Hardwick. Essendon left half, right half back. Damien Hardwick. Kicks long and wide. Fletcher a long way out from full forward. Just missing a goal that he should have kicked. Now deciding to kick long, looking for Hurd. Hurd and Silvani. Silvani with the
Great
body.
battle between those two.
Look at this over the other side.
Milhanna's the man. He's got 30 metres in front of him. Decides to kick it quickly to high ball. Kernahan and Wallace. Wallace gets the punch. Now it's Doolan. The 1-2 to Harvey through the centre of the ground. Now a chance for Alessio with strength. Outbodying Sexton.
He's having a bit of trouble down there with the big men. Sexton, Fletcher is too quick. And Alessio started on the ball, is now at full forward, and Fletcher now running on the ball. Has taken a good mark, just too big there and had to drop, as you can see, used his body, prop, then went with the fly to the ball. Stephen Alessio
kicked a goal in the second term. He'll kick from 45 metres directly in front. It's a wobbly looking kick, but it's got the accuracy.
No one back there for the Blues.
You're right, Robbo. It was only Gary O'Donnell and Brett Ratton in the goal square.
A tall player on the goal line could have nearly touched that.
Yep, could have come over the top. Alessio's goal brings it back to 10 points the difference, and the Bombers are back in business.
What's happening now? Lucas looks like he might have gone to full forward. Alessio back on the ball. Where's Fletcher?
Fletcher's down here with the runner on the forward end of the square, manned up by Manton, which is maybe playing half forward
now.
Centre half
moving
forward.
around, aren't they?
9-6 to 7-8. Carlton lead by 10 points. Allen gets his left hand to it. Gathered by Hardwick. Hand pass. Looks out wide for Masidi. Masidi, little left foot kick. Not far enough for his teammate. Hannah chips in. Gets past Lucas. Handball to Sexton. Sexton off the left foot. Kicks towards centre half forward. Down goes Williams. Tackle on Morgan by Whitehead. Away goes Hardwick for the Bombers. Hardwick's kick to centre half forward. Important possession. And it's taken there by Alessio. Well played. He kicks on. But the kick is smothered off the boot. Cockatoo Collins gets it to Mercury. Mercury's high kick will land in the pocket. Marcus taken by Fletcher from behind Manton.
Well, they're just too big at the moment. 2 big marks, or 3. This is the 3rd big mark on the forward line for Essendon, taken by Fletcher and Alessio. Could be a bit of a problem for the Carlton side. Very quick reflexive handball from Cockatoo Collins across to Mercury.
Well done by Fletcher. Kept his eyes right on the ball.
Criticised Manton, at least he was in front on that occasion.
You can see the angle there, confronting Dustin Fletcher. He kicks with the drop punt across the face and through for another behind to the Bombers. So 2 behinds in this term to Dustin Fletcher. The margin is 9 points. Reasonably low-scoring game. Just 16 goals kicked in the match so far. The leading goal scorer on the ground is Brent Heaver, who kicked 3 all in the first quarter. The kick-in has been marked by Silvani.
Stephen Silvani looking for options. Veteran of 205 games for the Blues. Champion fullback, centre half back. And a famous father. Spent a lot of time at the club. Alessio unable to take the mark. 3 or 4 bites at the cherry, allowing Koutafidis. It's a free kick call, but the advantage has been paid to Williams, who pinpoints a pass to Adrian Whitehead on centre wing for Carlton. Whitehead playing quickly, looking for Murphy.
Had the jump and sat on Hardwick, or Wallace.
Still a good mark though, wasn't it?
No doubt about it. But
he had an excellent night series, Justin Murphy, coming across from Richmond. Drives in long. But James Hird, Mr. Utility, whether it be on the half-forward line or half-back line, is there to save the Bombers. Mark Harvey, right half-back for Essendon. Harvey takes his second mark. He's had 12 possessions. Centre wing, Manton, Koutafidis. Big hands on the ball over to Williams again. Matty Allen, if he's quick enough, beats the Buick tackle off to Murphy. Throws it in forward to Hannah. Excellent body work from Doolan, throwing himself on the ball. Now it's Hannah on his left boot, can set something up. Kernahan looking for front posse, one hand out in front. Good pressure from the Bombers. Harvey's caught with the ball. He was the man, the tackler. He was thrust onto the ground again. It's Calthorpe and Bradley. Experience.
Doolan on hands, resting on knees. He's bent over back in the centre square after that clash with Whitehead. Whitehead went in and got the ball, and he left Doolan in his wake.
Throw in on 50. The Blues by 9 points. Matty Allen with a two-hand palm to Murphy on the ground, off to Hickmott. Here's Whitehead. Ooh, took his eye off the ball at the last minute, allowing Mercedes to chip in. Kick across the ground, looking for Wanganeen, who's got plenty of space. He can run. All depends how quick Heaver is and put him under pressure. Now he decides to kick. He's got Mercury leading. Excellent punch from Christou. Out of bounds.
Clappe coming on for Carlton. And coming off maybe Turner.
So the boundary throw in right half forward for the Blues. Matt Clappe in picture. Boundary throw in is probably about 2 kicks away from Carlton's goal. Hird, Ratton on Doolan. Christou trying to get through. Ratton, Mercury, out to Buick. Buick with a bit of space now. And the brilliantly smothered. Williams, short kick. Oh, it was meant for Matty Allen, but chipping in and knocking it away was Hickmott. Matty Allen goes after Harvey. Oh, well done by Lucas. Very, very well done for a young player to back himself. And he goes after it again, gets the handball back from Morgan. The kick to half forward. Alessio. In goes Cockatoo Collins. He's got a chance to kick a goal. He'll go in. He bounces. Kicks it off the ground and it damn well hits the post. You wouldn't believe it. Essendon supporters have got a goal written down on their scorecard.
And Ian Robertson must have money on Carlton, because I've never seen a commentator upset so much over a point.
Well, you could mark it down. The kick in and the Blues have got the ball away from the full-back line. Sexton has it at left half-back.
Robert, you're winding up too. It's unbelievable. Cockatoo Collins missing that goal in the square as Sexton drives it up to centre wing. Big pack, no one can mark. Matty Allen at front position. Excellent stuff from the big man. Mercedes now trying to create some space for Morgan. Excellent pressure from Carlton on Morgan. Putting pressure on Harvey as well. Hickmott chips in, throws it on the boot. Keeps it alive. Lucas, Burbakov it was. Now Murphy can steady. Kicks high into an empty goal square. Wanganeen running with the flight of the ball. Beats everyone.
A lot of mistakes out there because of the pressure.
The bounce, Robbo. You mentioned the ground before. The ball just didn't sit for him.
Unbelievable for Shea Cockatoo Collins. He's kicked 2 goals for Essendon.
Anyway, well, Williams, it's a beautiful intercept early, and then the great pressure from Mark Harvey on the half-back line. Kernahan takes it out of the air. Calthorpe takes it off his boot, throws it on his own boot. Manton keeping front position. Eyes only for the ball. Glenn Manton, 50 games, well done. Silvani, back to Christou. Enormous pressure, forces him to kick around the body, unable to steady. Murphy now, Williams on his left. Chipping wide. Finding Danny Morgan, unable to take the mark. Keeps it alive, steadies on his left boot. He's got Hird wide. Shoved out from Silvani, excellent smothering and shepherding from Silvani, but it'll be a free kick against Calthorpe for taking him too high and throwing him to the ground.
Real late free kick, or is it coming back? No, advantage not being paid. Maybe it should have, because that was after the ball had gone. And here's Silvani copping one.
Well, it seems like it might have been a bit of an even.
No, that actually was a good umpiring decision because the ball hadn't left the area.
They don't often get caught out. They haven't got the advantage of the replay like we have.
Silvani chips in, finding Williams. Great vision. Excellent hands from Williams. Plays on quickly. This could only land in one of Carlton hands.
He's having a purple patch, isn't he?
Murphy.
His hands have been good.
Justin Murphy, 10th possession.
Third mark.
And the man playing off him is doing all right as well, and that's Lucas.
But Greg Williams, though, 12 kicks and 6 handballs. Been excellent this.
Heaver off Russell
And Caboriale coming back on. Williams has had 6 possessions, Robbo, in only 12 minutes in this third quarter. As Justin Murphy kicks from directly in front. The kick's pretty good.
Well, I've got to apologise. That was Berbatov on the mark, not Lucas. And Murphy really having a purple patch.
I think that was an important kick in the context of the game. The start of the third quarter, Essendon have probably had most of the play. The chance for Cockatoo Collins went begging, and the Blues have managed to just scrounge a goal in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, that's really a 12-point difference, isn't it, Robbo?
Just about, yep. So Justin Murphy with his second goal gives the Blues back the ascendancy. There's a 14-point margin, poor bounce, but the ball finishes with Hardwick. His kick rebounded there by Bradley, just intercepting. Kick forward again by Morgan, but no one home for Essendon, and the mark is taken by Silvani. He's got a player further forward. It's Matthew Allen. This kick has got to be good because his agility is nothing special. He's going to get the mark or the free kick against Barnard. So he looks to play on. He can't afford to slip over. He's kick into the pocket and a good mark. Excellent mark taken by Hickmott. Hickmott with 3 marks, 7 kicks, 4 hand passes.
He's kicked player in the blue jumper. He was in the blue and white last year.
He's kicked towards full forward. Will score. No, he won't. That punch has maybe hit the behind post. So a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Blues. The opportunity for Carlton to kick a goal. We've got 9 minutes left in the third term. Don Scott mentioned that the lights have been switched on here at the MCG. Very dull, overcast day. It has been threatening to rain, but we've only had just a slight sprinkling of precipitation just before half-time. Nothing really to be considered. Wallace doing the ruck work up against Kernahan. Leaving it behind was Hardwick. In there Murphy. Hardwick got the football. Tackled by Hickmott. Dragged to the ground. Hickmott really fossicked hard there. And gets the little pat of congratulations from Adrian Whitehead. And the ball will be bounced 50 metres from the Carlton goal. Another blood rule maybe.
Hardwick again.
So the arena of battle just having the better there of Damien Hardwick. He's going to have a spell on the bench to be attended to by the medical staff. Coming back onto the ground will be Michael Pryor.
Bit of a lull in proceedings as Pryor makes his way onto the ground. The Blues by 14 points. Halfway through, or 15 minutes into this third term. But Essendon having the ascendancy, but not putting it on the scoreboard, throwing themselves into the game. It's Kernahan and Wallace. Kernahan to Williams, now to Hickmott, unable to keep his hands on the pill. Mercedes tackling, throwing him to the ground. A look of disappointment on Hickmott's face. He had the ball. But the pressure got to him. By Howlett. Kernahan this time. Straight up in the air, off the ground from Pryor. Now it's Barnard and Ratton. Barnard, clever, off the ground, gaining valuable metres. Excellent interception from O'Donnell, but maybe a bit lazy from Matty Allen over the top. Excellent work from Essendon. Robbo, you're expressing your displeasure on that one.
Well, he's been around Matthew Allen for 3 seasons now, and that was just a very, very poor performance there. The Blues had a real chance to go forward. He's going to get the free kick out of the ruck contest.
Scotty Lucas coming over the top and deemed too high. There's Matty Allen on his natural left foot. Kicks a good 50-metre punt. Kernahan in the middle of the pack. Excellent hands from Clapbater Murphy. Goal square. Caboriale. He'll put it through.
Gee, was that laconic.
Coming back on the ground. There he is, number 16. He started on centre wing, now in the forward pocket. two South Australians.
What about the arrogance there when he took the mark and said, well, I'll have a little ping at this.
And that's about the third mark that has been taken from behind. Players showing better judgment. Down the other end, Essendon have done it on a couple of times. That's the first time it's happened up on the Carlton forward line, and they've capitalised.
Well, an important goal again for the Blues. They've kicked 2 in this quarter. 9-6 to 6-7 it was at half-time. Carlton have kicked 2, Essendon have kicked 1 so far in the third quarter. Just a rush forward for the Blues rugby style. It's got to centre forward, Dulio. Silvani, Clappe, bounces nicely for him. Handball, Whitehead, he should ping it from there. And Whitehead's put it through off the left foot.
Well, he could have gone over the top because Kernahan was by himself. That was well done by Carlton. Nothing special in that. They just pushed and pushed, persevered, and it just finished up with Whitehead, who could have gone over the top. Look at the way they push this out. Essendon actually pushed it there with Hurd. Numbers at the ball. Comes out, Dulio, then spilled out. Clappe. There's Whitehead, and Whitehead could have gone over the top because you can see Kernahan on the edge of the square by himself. But he's found it.
They've kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes to create the biggest margin in the game.
Matty Allen gets the left hand, only to find Doolan on centre wing. High ball. Silvani at the back of the pack, relieving pressure for Carlton. Throws it on the boot. It's a running race. Bradley will be quick enough to keep it inboard. He does with poise. Excellent handball to Hannah. Bit of a spin, out of trouble. Ratton caught by Calthorpe. Now a chance for Morgan. Run down from behind. Doolan receives from Cockatoo Collins. Mercedes on 50. Should kick this. Mercury it is. His teammate from school, but out of bounds on the full it goes.
I think he's got a little bit more hair on his head too, Russell. That Joe Mercedes haircut with David Calthorpe.
The number 2 Clippers.
Well, Don Scott's taken a leaf out of their book, I think.
Manton with the free kick out from the Carlton right back pocket. Matty Allen with strength and height. Takes one of his 4 marks for the day. Drives it long and wide. Murphy again coming on after half-time. He's taken some excellent grabs. Flying in the packs off to Bradley. Long and wide. Kernahan with a sit. Excellent punch from Clappe, but a free kick to Kernahan.
Holding.
Against Dean Wallace? No. Who's it for? He's calling someone back. Not Steve Kernahan. I think it might be Matt Clappe who will receive the free kick. Umpire David Howlett under control. Clappe it is. Mark Harvey, you watch here.
Oh, you kidding?
Oh, well. That's what it was for, but...
Well, they've got to make that decision in a split instant, don't they?
Well, you let it go if there's any doubt.
We've got slow-mo replay, so...
Yep. Matt Clappe, kick for his first. And Carlton's 13th to extend this margin to 32 points, be the biggest of the game. Chips in, finding Aaron Hamill, opening up the goals. No closer, at a better angle. Tuggeranong from ACT.
Geez, put Tuggeranong on the map. He and Justin Blumfield, haven't they?
Beautiful.
I don't think anybody in Australia except the residents of Tuggeranong knew about it.
Michael Pryor coming off the ground for Justin Blumfield. Speaking of the ACT, the kick is wide. And only one behind from the lad from Tuggeranong.
Do you know where it is?
No,
Scotty, do you know where Tuggeranong is?
Canberra.
Canberra. Is it a suburb? Is it of Canberra?
Capital of Canberra.
Capital of Canberra. Coming from the geographical genius of Channel 7, Don Scott. Mercedes between full-back and centre-half back. He's forced to kick high. The ball there to be won now. Fletcher got it down in front. Now it's Barnard. Barnard's kick towards half-forward. Bounce was unkind there for Sexton. Good tackle by Silvani. Sets it up. The tackle was on Stephen Alessio. That Blumfield tackle on Whitehead was just a little high. So Whitehead will take the free kick on centre wing. Free kick's a bit lopsided. 14 to the Blues, 5 to Essendon. Whitehead, his kick will land at half forward. Murphy again, the high flyer. Ratton takes it away from Clappe. His kick will land at centre half forward. Now the bounce all important. Kernahan goes down hard, but he knocked it into the path And the kick forward was by Hamill. He missed. Off to the right, a disappointing figure there of Aaron Hamill, just behind to add to the Blues score.
But Doolan that cleaned up Kernahan, Robbo, came off second best as Berbikov comes off the ground, replaced by Hardwick. But two Essendon players hit Kernahan hard. Doolan still struggling to get his wind.
Kick in by O'Donnell, close to the line, finds James Hird. James Hird has had very much a battle with Stephen Silvani. He's kicked down towards the wing. The mark is taken by Barnard. He looks to go inside, and he does, and finds Morgan. He's bumped heavily by Ratton. The kick was fairly well ineffective. It's in the centre of the ground. Wanganeen, the ball's hot. Mercury, handballs into the centre proper. Mercedes, handballs to Buick. Buick steadies, and then kicks towards half forward. Not really to the advantage there of Cockatoo Collins. Able to mop it up was Hamill and Sexton. It goes out wide to Hannah. The Blues will go down the ground. He gives it to the bed of the kick. Bradley runs up to half forward. Watch this, the advantage kick here in towards centre half forward, and it's taken by Whitehead. And nearly every time when you give Craig Bradley the chance, he'll make you pay for it.
His kicking has been a delight today, Craig Bradley. He has really finished off well. He's done it again. What an excellent kick.
He just steadies, Robbo, doesn't he? He has a look.
Well, he's given the space, which is very important. I mean, the player playing on him obviously is going down the ground on this side when Essendon are going forward. Then the rebound catches him out on the far side of the ground. Whitehead has kicked two. He's kicking from only 45 metres. And he has missed. So, from the Blues' point of view, a bad miss. They still lead by 29 points, 12-9 to 7-10. And when you look at the equation for Essendon, they've only kicked 7 goals in nearly 3 quarters. They're going to have to kick 6 to none in the last quarter to win this game. So a difficult assignment for the Bombers. Hardwick's handball. This is Calthorpe in the left back pocket. He kicks it out towards the wing.
Well done, Svalbard.
Kicks up towards the centre of the ground. Good punch by Christou. It's Calthorpe, late inclusion for Essendon. Drives it wide, but Essendon are outnumbered. Sexton is one of those. And Silvani and Hannah. And he's also got Christou to support. It's all Carlton. They're leading by 39 points as Murphy flies over the top. Bradley trying to get another possession.
Oh, he's hurt himself. That's Barnard, I think, on the ground.
Koutafidis is caught by Fletcher, but gets his kick. Hardwick unable to take the mark. Kernahan. Murphy unable to pick up the ball. Essendon are throwing themselves in. High tackle on Lucas by Hannah.
A lot of trainers out on the ground around Barnard. He was really hurt after Murphy came down from that big, spectacular leap. There he is, Paul Barnard. He's writhing in agony.
Might be a corky or a hip injury of some sort. Mercedes. Mercury, I keep getting them mixed up, Robbo. That's Mercury with hair. Now it's Christou unable to take the mark. DiIulio with pace, pushes off James Hird. Handballs the ball to the ground, looking for a free kick. Hird's desperate. DiIulio following up. Kernahan with slick hands, but Wanganeen the interception. The pace is hectic again, similar to the first term. Up by David Howlett says, throw it in.
Barnard up and coming straight to the interchange bench.
Here we see it again, Scotty. Step ladder stuff. Just driven into the ground. It's Carlton by 29 points. Just about a minute to go in this third term. As Christou goes to the boundary line again as Greg Williams gesturing. What about me? Free kick he's calling for. The umpire won't have any of that. As Allen lines up in the ruck against Hird. Front position, good punch, big right hand to Whitehead. Interception from Doolan. Throws it on his boot without looking. Only to find Stephen Silvani on the centre wing.
Essendon haven't scored since the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. Mark taken by Hickmott from 50 metres. Hickmott goes towards goal. No one home. Harvey just gets his left hand to it and carries it through for a rush behind to the Blues. So the Blues get level on the scoreboard in behinds, and they lead by exactly 5 goals, close to three-quarter time, 12-10 to 7-10. Their defence has been very, very good once again. I think from as far back as I can remember, Carlton have had a tremendous defence, keeps them in games of football. Fletcher marks the Harvey kick. Fletcher outside the defensive 50 metres. Just seconds left in the third term. Fletcher's kick will land near the middle. It'll be mopped up quite straightforwardly by Ange Christou. Kicks across his, beautiful kick. And that possession will count, certainly for both players. The kick by Christou, the mark by Matthew Allen. But insignificant as far as the score is concerned at three-quarter time, which sees the Blues leading by 5 goals. They're 12-10, 82. Essendon are 17-52. So that score line there of 12-10 to 7-10. Looking a dismal sight for Essendon fans. Carlton fans, on the other hand, have had plenty to cheer about. The Bombers have only kicked 1 goal in this match since the 15.5-minute mark of the second term. So it's been a very, very much a dry run for Essendon forwards. Alessio gets his right hand to it. Matthew Allen over the top there of Morgan. Also Ratton for the Blues. And the umpire to bounce it once again.
They've had their chances, Robbo, in that third term with Fletcher missing a goal and even Cockatoo Collins, and that might have an effect on their mindset.
Well, they were a bit stiff, weren't they? The Blues get the ball out of their centre, taken by Clappe, a high kick. Doesn't really go any distance at all. Hannah from behind couldn't take the mark. Clappe. Now Morgan. Kicked out of there back towards the wing. Fletcher and Manton. Manton does well and then taps it to the advantage. Underneath all of that is Bradley, and it's all locked up. Centre wing, about 25 metres away from the centre circle, on the edge of the square. So some negative play by both sides at the start of the last quarter. Essendon have to kick 6 goals and keep Carlton goalless if they're to win this game, and it's a big ask, you would think. Ratton, Nick Camporiali has run down Blumfield there for Essendon, and the umpire, this time it's Darren Goldspink, will bounce on the right-hand forward point of the square for the Blues. It's about 65 metres from their goal.
Carlton led at quarter time by 8 points. Half time 17 points, now 30 points, 5 straight goals. As Allen gets the tap. Murphy had an exceptional third quarter. Koutafidis with skill. Off to Whitehead now. On his left boot. Hooks it around, but hooks it too far. Only one behind is Adrian Whitehead. 2 goals, 2. All second half scores. The Blues by 31 points. Played a couple of minutes in this final term. Gary O'Donnell.
Any moves, Don, at the start of this quarter for Essendon, maybe?
Well, Hurd was starting deep in the forward line. He's gone into the centre square on occasions. Alessio now centre half forward.
O'Donnell looked for Buick. Couldn't find it, but now Buick gains another 40 metres with a kick off the ground, beating Bradley. Doolan now has time. Chips into Buick, who continued on for support. A rush kick now to Berbatov. Spent a bit of time on the bench in the third term. Doolan. Again, trying to set up some forward play. Sexton in front now. Cockatoo Collins with a chance. Under pressure. Dribbles it into the square. Fletcher unable to get his boot to the ball. To rush behind to Essendon. Back to 30 points. Same as the half-time margin.
Christou kicks in and finds Manton. Goes back to Christou. Close to half-back now when he kicks the ball. It lands out near the wing, but a good mark. Excellent mark taken out there by Berbatov for the Bombers. Had a very good tussle with Kernahan as Peter Berbatov. He's kicking towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Matty Allen gets it out. Christou's kick lands close to the boundary line. It trundles in front there of Shea Cockatoo Collins and over for a boundary throw-in. About 35 to 40 metres around from the Essendon goal. Cockatoo Collins has kicked 2 goals, but, well, rather lamentably for Essendon fans in the third quarter, just missed with an attempted kick off the ground. Sexton's hand pass, still there for Essendon. Buick, little kick. Oh, just a fraction too high for Mercury. In front of goals, Cockatoo Collins snaps and misses again. You wouldn't believe it. Last week, he was on target. This week,
2 goals, 3.
Bad luck for the Bombers, Shea Cockatoo Collins.
Just looking at Silvani and Hurd tussle, he would be the hardest man to play on, Stephen Silvani. He's beaten Hurd today. Boy, he just at it the whole time. He also does an extra session of fitness before training starts, so he's very, very fit as well.
Ange Christou just landed the ball in the centre of the ground, allowing Bradley to run onto it. Mark unable to be taken from Clappe. Hickmott throws his body in under the pack. David Parkin will be very pleased with that sort of attitude from Carlton. That's why they're 5 goals ahead of the 93 premiers.
And I think that's why he's in this side. Adrian Hickmott, he's a terrific player at the
Very
football.
honest, isn't he?
Yeah, my word.
I think he'd be very pleased.
Let him go.
I think he'd be very pleased to be there too, Robbo. It's Blumfield. Breaks away from half-back, looking for Alessio. And a free kick.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Against Sexton.
He might have gone Sexton's way.
Well,
it's 50 metres.
Now,
you've got to give the ball back on the full.
What, from behind the player on the mark?
Yeah.
I thought you had the opportunity to throw it to the player on the mark,
Well,
and he had to throw it back on the
He just did not make it, did he? The ball just didn't even get to that fellow on the mark anyway.
Alessio will kick from directly in front to reduce the margin back to 23 points and maybe give Essendon the impetus they require in this final term. Alessio's third, and very disappointed Silvani and Christou.
Well, I thought the free kick could have gone Sexton's way. They are debatable, aren't they, when they grab? Look, both players, I suppose, one around the neck and then the other holding.
They're both giving each other a cuddle.
But anyway, I wish they'd cut that side out of the game. It's ugly. It's a detraction from our game.
Well, the goal is on the scoreboard for Essendon, and they trail by 23 points. There's plenty of time left in the game for the Bombers to snatch this. The Blues have led from pretty well go to woe and kicked the first 2 goals of the game, and they've had the advantage at every break. Essendon get clear of the centre. Alessio, handball, Buick from a standing start, kicks to half forward. Calthorpe gets rid of Christou, gets back, then kicks it towards the goal line, but way offline, out of bounds on the full. And the free kick will be taken by Silvani. He goes towards the half-back region, and the chest mark is taken by Koutafidis. He goes wider still, and the mark is taken by Sexton. So possession football for the Blues. Sexton down the wing, there's a player on his own, and it is Matthew Allen. So 4 possessions for the Blues, and Essendon have got nowhere near the football. Matthew Allen's kick will put Carlton into attack. It will land at half forward. Harvey from behind, Buick to run it down, Bradley the tackle. Hand pass away, Mercedes kick down towards the wing. Good mark taken by young Lucas. Lucas plays on, then kicks in towards centre half forward, marking contact. Cockatoo Collins! You little beauty! He had to sit, but went right on with it. The kick touched off the boot, was it? No, it's a mark, and it's taken down there by Lucas. No, it's Blumfield, and he'll kick from only 30 metres out, a very slight angle, and if anything Essendon need, it might be the inspiration from Shea Cockatoo Collins. A terrific mark, and the ball with Justin Blumfield. He has the chance to bring this margin back to 17 points. Kicks from only 30 metres. The goal umpire doesn't move. It's a goal to the Bombers.
Well, I've got a very high opinion of number 34, Justin Blumfield, from Canberra. And he has been compared to James Hird, about the same age. Special mark by Cockatoo Collins. And then Blumfield, who's come off the bench, has kicked his first. There he is, number 34 for Essendon.
The Bombers have kicked 2 goals in a matter of minutes. 1 to Alessio, thanks to a 50-metre penalty. And Justin Blumfield, they're now 17 points the difference as umpire Rowan Sawyers bounces the ball in Essendon's advantage, but Bradley will do the better, and off to Sexton it goes. Kicks wide, beating Scotty Camperali, and over the line out of bounds.
Quiet day for Scott Camperali.
Yeah, by his standards, Robbo, only 9 possessions. Premiership player from 1995. In his first year with Carlton, over from South Australia. Matty Allen taken the ball out of the ruck, was caught with it. Now to Whitehead, who's kicked 3 goals for the game. High ball, one-on-one, Wallace the stronger in front of Kernahan. Ratton hits it with full force. Clappe off to Camporeale. Now Kernahan around the corner. There it is. Goal to Sticks, the captain's goal, taking a lot of pressure off Carlton.
He's a good player, this bloke here. He's in there underneath all the time, Brett Ratton.
Threw himself into that pack, creating that opportunity for Camporeale to send it out to Kernahan. Straight in the pack.
He goes both ends of the ground, Ratton, and Hannah is coming off, and coming back on is Gleeson for Carlton, and finishing it off is Kernahan. But Ratton being recognised for his efforts. He's an unspectacular type of guy, but he's won Carlton's best and fairest. Coming off the ground, Brett.
Back in the centre, out to 23 points again. The pressure's off Carlton, but Essendon football. You never know what can happen when Kevin Sheedy's got control of the side. As Kunafiti's out of the centre from 50. But Dean Wallace, with the outstretched hands and the gloves, takes the pressure off.
Handball finds O'Donnell. O'Donnell in the left back pocket, kicks it wide out towards the wing. Mark nearly taken out here by James Hird. He's just having one of those days. He gets it back. No, he doesn't. Good interception by Clappe to knock it over for a boundary throw in.
And one of those days is called Stephen Silvani.
Yes, he's a quality opponent, Stephen Silvani. I think you've mentioned on more than one occasion during the day that he just makes it so difficult for his opponent. Able to just to lock it up there with Morgan. Hannah having a spell on the bench. Turner maybe it looks like, and Ratton presently on the bench for the Blues. 13-11 to 9-12. Carlton lead by 23 points. They led by exactly 5 goals at three-quarter time. Hand pass by Mercury. Finds Buick. Buick's left foot kick towards half forward. Fletcher nearly got hold of it. Races after it again, but look at Silvani just being as lousy as ever. And he nearly forces it clear. Doolio tackled by Calthorpe. Still there, but you might be lucky, Ronnie. No, the umpire decides on a bounce. So some bleeding being done there by David Calthorpe to the umpire. Pleading would probably be a better word. Up over the top there was Lucas. Ball spills now for Mercury. His kick towards full forward, knocked away from Alessio. Gathered by Wanganeen. What can he manufacture? A behind. Gee, that would have set the MCG alight if that kick had have gone through. The margin is 22 points in favour of Carlton. We've got 12 minutes left.
The Bombers, they came back from behind against Richmond last week. They were 5 goals behind, but that was at half-time at a big third term. But with only 12 minutes left in the last quarter, there's still hope. But Anthony Koutafidis looks for a fallen Hickmott. Doesn't look too well. It's caught one very high. Berbikov now with a chance. Hickmott's still on the ground, not looking too good. Now it's a chance for Fletcher off the ground. Ball bouncing towards the boundary and out of bounds.
Hickmott's up, he's okay. Yeah, just bent over, but he'll be right.
Landed heavily. Carlton coming off a heavy loss against Hawthorn last week by 7 goals. A totally different attitude today.
Well, they had to, didn't they? That was pretty pathetic last week. Yeah. They had the initiative taken away by Hawthorn.
A couple of changes. Allen in for the side. Silvani, one of Carlton's best, now allowing Lucas. Unable to steady, but hooks it around. Kick looks pretty good for a goal. Ronnie DeLulio claiming he had the ball before it went over the line. Goal umpire says, no, thank you.
He is quite quick, and I like the boy. I think he's all right.
Back to 16 points.
Here he is, Lucas will figure as Silvani goes cross goal and running onto it. He's only a youngster and he's got a ton of potential. It's a horrible word, potential, because usually they don't live up to it.
Well, it was a good kick in the finish to score Essendon's 10th goal. Just 16 points in the game. Bit of a dust up here on the wing between Buick and Camporeale. Allen goes for it, gets it down. Koutafidis. Camporeale tries to get it back to Koutafidis. He goes back the unpredictable way and then finds Williams. So Williams prepared to just hold play up ever so slightly. Lots of boos, but it wouldn't worry Greg Williams. He's been in the thick of things for too many years now. to take much notice of that. Twice a Brownlow medalist, Premiership player, Norm Smith medalist, champion Greg Williams. Runs close to the man on the mark and then kicks it high in the air. It'll land at half forward, knocked away. Hardwick, O'Donnell spots a player wide, delivers with precision. It's Berbakoff, handball to Harvey. Harvey goes down the wing. Hurd, for the first time, beats Silvani in a one-on-one. Down to Buick to the front. Buick kicks to half forward. Alessio punched away. Also knocked away from Cockatoo Collins, very important.
Who's going in there?
In goes Gleeson, and in goes Buick, but it was tough stuff by both players.
Wants to make his presence felt, and that's the only way you do it when you're trying to break into the side. You've got to risk all, put your body in, and certainly Adrian Gleeson did it on that occasion. Good to see a little fella put himself in like that.
Never doubt Adrian Gleeson's endeavour. Plenty of games in the navy blue and white.
The rain starting to fall here is going to be difficult to handle this ball.
Gleeson gets it out. Camporeale runs away and then kicks out wide. Bradley again. What can he set up? Craig Bradley goes in the direction of the captain. Wallace has got it. Great mark taken by Dean Wallace.
Should have got the free kick anyway, Wallace.
So Wallace for the Bombers on the full-back line. Gives the hand pass away to Hardwick.
Hardwick a bit unsure which direction to go, but excellent vision finding Lucas, the Essendon goal kicker in that last 5 minutes. Off to Morgan, the 1-2 again, back to Lucas, through half-back. Cockatoo Collins in front position, front of Hamill. The Bombers need to move it quickly. 9 minutes left, 16 points. It's 3 kicks and the Bombers are in front. Harvey over the top. It's Doolan now, if he can pick it up and steady. He's on his left boot, bit of pace, throws it on the boot.
Oh, terrible kick.
Out of bounds on the full.
They're the sort of kicks that have to be converted if you're going to win the game. I mean, he could have nailed that. Would have brought the house down.
Just under 9 minutes left here at the MCG. And Essendon making a challenge as Morton goes off. And coming back on his prior. Also, Hannah warming up for Carlton.
Glenn Manton, the 50-gamer, finds Sexton over the top of this pack. Pryor, excellently tackled by Murphy. And keeps the ball in. Carlton supporters applauding that one. Very good stuff.
Hickman off and Hannah on for Carlton.
Next goal, very important.
Umpire Goldspink will bounce the ball, centre wing. Brett Ratton, I think, looking to come on the ground. Camporeale, Mercury, gives away 5 metres to gain 35. Kicks wide, looking for Wanganeen. Now it's Cockatoo Collins back to Wanganeen with pace. Beats Whitehead with pace, continues to run. Kicks to one-on-one, Fletcher and Manton. Fletcher, front position, looking for a free kick.
Free kick, and I think it's going Manton's way. Oh, it's going
to Fletcher. Front position. Manhandled by Manton.
How can you see that it's one interfering with the other when they're both having a go at it like this?
Well, Rowan Sawyers, the umpire, was there.
You've got to be a game man, though. I mean, they're both having a go at each other. I think it should be just called play.
Well, Sawyers is umpire.
No, I think they've got to pay one way or the other. This is an ugly part of our game, and it should be eliminated.
Here we go.
Watch this.
It's around his neck, Robbo. It's a free kick. It's a good decision. Now the pressure's on Dustin Fletcher. He's kicked 2 behinds already.
Oh,
it's hit the post.
He didn't like that as soon as it left his boot. He crouched down trying to will that ball through the big sticks. And it's hit the post.
Pressure's getting to him.
That's 3 points to Dustin Fletcher.
Back to 15 points the difference in favour of Carlton. With just under 8 minutes left in this final term.
You don't doubt that Christo will go long, do you? He thumps it 55 metres. But it's punched back towards the Essendon forward line. James Hurd, Buick. Michael Pryor, make a name for yourself. A terrible kick by Michael Pryor. He kicks the ball so well from the back line, but on that occasion, he just threw it on his boot. Christou to take the kick in. He goes long again, out towards the wing. Kutafides up high. Williams to gather. Handball for Bradley. Bumped out of it by Mercury. Well done, Lucas. He's got some important possessions in the last few minutes. Buick 50 metres from goal. Plays it himself. Leaves it behind. Gives the handball back to Hurd. Hurd close to the line. Camporeale to put a little bit of pressure on. Forces the kick away. Doolio the punch from behind. Chance for Hamill. Fletcher taken over by Manton. Carlton players appealing for the free kick, but nothing happened.
They're tough competitors, that Carlton backline. They really do put the pressure on. The way Buick was spinning and turning, it was only the fact that he couldn't handle the ball because of the pressure that was applied earlier in the day by Carlton. Sows the seed of doubt in the minds of the forwards.
Essendon have kicked 3 goals to 1 in this last quarter. Koutafidis kicks the Blues out of trouble.
And a good kick it is too. Clappe keeping his feet. Harvey going to ground. Hardwick throwing himself in on top of the pack. Right in the middle of the AFL centenary logo as Brett Ratton returns. Carlton best and fairest from last year's premiership side. Still plenty of time. Under 7 minutes, only 15 points in it. It's umpire Goldsmith throws it onto the turf. Berbikov gets his left boot into the leather. Gains 30 metres.
That's a free kick, surely, to Christou.
Rolling through the centre of the ground.
That's a throw, yep.
It's Mercury. Not happy with that one, but Adrian Gleeson will take the free kick. Plays on quickly. He's got Williams on his own in 50. He plays on quickly. Throws it on his boot. Kernahan in front. Kernahan it is.
Well, he's taken an important one, Kernahan. And Williams actually had Hamill, I think it was, running by, Christou running by. If he'd got it out a little quicker.
And the biggest difference in quality, Steve Kernahan will probably kick this versus Fletcher missing from 15 metres out.
Well, I've backed Kernahan before and he's let me down. There's no surety, let me tell you, to kick it.
Well, Steve, you Earth Rider, Scotty.
Steve Kernahan. Donny Scotty misses. 16 points to the Blues.
Well, a great judge.
Oh, dear.
Well, still got a great game, Robbo.
He who has the last laugh has the longest laugh. 13, 12, 10, 14. 16 points. Gee, it'd be a terrific win for Essendon. It'd be such a morale-boosting, psychological victory close to the finals if they could snatch it. Getting closer and closer to full time, though. O'Donnell's kick in. Well marked by Wallace. Plays on quickly. Well done. Assessed that situation pretty well. Doolan and Harvey. The kick towards full forward. Mark!
No.
Play on. Fletcher. James Hird. Snapshot by Hird. He's across the face. He's hooked it a little bit too far.
There's nothing going for him today, Hird, isn't it? Is it?
Well, no matter who wins this game, it's been a titanic struggle.
Right from the outset, it's been a terrific game of football, and Clappe coming off and coming on once again is Turner.
15 points is the advantage for Carlton. Christou's kick-in has been marked by Manton.
Glenn Manton celebrating 50 games. Sends it on long. Allen unable to mark. Murphy the roving in front of the pack. Sexton off one step. Finding Turner. Spent a bit of time on the bench. He's got Whitehead running with the flight of the ball. Can keep going if he gets a good shepherd from Gleeson. He does. Now he can steady. Handball inboard to Ratton. Steadying time for the Carlton.
He just couldn't swing right around because he had Bradley by himself, and Bradley's still by himself in the pocket.
But Murphy should have a kick. He'll kick from 45 metres and maybe put a sealer on this game.
Well, he had a purple patch in the third quarter, Murphy, after coming off the bench. Skied out of it, maybe not having the opportunities on the half-forward flank in the last quarter. But he certainly was on fire in the third quarter.
Justin Murphy, 2 goals he has to his name. Runs a bit too close to the man on the mark, won't make the distance. And an excellent mark from Dean Wallace in front of Steve Kernahan. Needs to play on quickly, he does, off to O'Donnell. A stalwart of 198 games for the Essendon side. Finds Masiti. Now he has the running Hardwick. Essendon need to score a goal, they need it quickly. Hird on the lead. Play on's the call. It's a wet and slippery ball now. The rain's drizzling. Cockatoo Collins will take on both of them. Hannah and Koutafidis. Tackles Koutafidis. Gets it onto Hannah. Relieves a bit of pressure. And finding Sexton on centre wing.
Good kick by Hannah under a little bit of pressure there. That kick was meant for Bradley. Harvey is there, and the ball over for a throw-in. Bradley
done well in the last quarter.
Just a wry smile by Craig Bradley. He may have been looking for a free kick there. 3 3/4 minutes left. Fantastic crowd here at the MCG, in excess of 65,000 people, to watch this great struggle between 2 formidable lineups. Doolan not able to gather, and the ball locked up there, and the umpire will call for a bounce. about 75 metres from the Carlton goal. The Blues lead 13-12-90. Essendon at 10-15-75, so that margin is 15 points in favour of Carlton. They led by 5 goals at three-quarter time, and just Essendon's inaccuracy costing them. A very, very important passage of play came towards the end of the third quarter when Shea Cockatoo Collins had a chance to kick a goal for Essendon. The ball just bouncing and hitting the post. And of course Fletcher missing 2 kicks at the start of the third quarter. The ball down to Ratton. He's able to get his left foot to it. Important little kick too. Kicked out of there by Hardwick. Close to the line. Mark taken by Lucas. Got plenty on him as Lucas runs away. He's kicked the goal already in this last quarter. Good long kick too towards half forward. Gathered by Blumfield. Blumfield's kick will find Mercury. Mercury into an open goal. Mark Mercury has kicked the goal for the Bombers. 9 points. Oh, second goal to Mercury, and with 2 3/4 minutes left, it is a 9-point game.
Well, they won't lie down, will they? And Ratton coming off again for Carlton. He must be injured, Brett Ratton. They wouldn't take him off. Hamill about to come back on as Cummings is warming up for Essendon, so changes being made. Only 2.5 minutes left. Important to get the ball away from the centre for both Carlton and Essendon.
Well, it's a 9-point game at the G. Only 2.5 minutes left in the game. The crowd are going silly. Williams takes it out of the centre of the ground. Kernahan unable to mark. It's Murphy now. Pressure from Harvey. Ratton looked as though he was going to have a rest on the bench. Goes wide to Kernahan. Kernahan kicks wide. Across the face of goal.
At least it's down there. It's staying down there, and that'll help Carlton because it'll run the clock down.
Still plenty of time left.
Kernahan's behind. Takes them to 10 points in front.
2 goals, 2 to Kernahan. Cummings on, Alessio off.
They need to move it quickly, and O'Donnell needs to kick it straight down the middle of the ground. I think he realises the desperation. Excellent kick, torpedo. Unable to mark from Berbatov. Koutafidis to mop up Williams. Back to Manton. Quick kick. Good smother and defensive work from Hardwick over the top. Now the Bombers have got a chance. Doolan, if he moves it quickly, he's got Berbatov on his own, allowing Manton to come in front. Berbatov using his body well. Now he has to move it quickly. He's on his left foot. Sends it inboard. Salvani and Hurd. No one can take the mark. Christou running back, conceding metres. Gains 35 himself around the corner. Koutafidis now has a chance with a bit of pace. Gets legged. De Julio.
Advantage? No, it's got to go back.
No, what the rule is,
it's going to be 50 metres.
50 metres and a free kick if you get a deliberate trip by hand. So Koutafidis will take the free kick on centre wing. 10 points the difference here at the MCG. Just over a minute and a half left in this game.
I think had they had advantage, they would have, if they had a clean position, they would have called advantage, the umpire.
Important play though, wasn't it? When Essendon went forward for Carlton to clear from the full back line, Essendon kick a goal with 2 minutes left.
That's the difference when you've got someone like Craig Bradley, who always finds his man. As Koutafidis kicks wide, looking for Kernahan, 2 against 1.
Calthorpe off, Alessio back on.
And we'll have a throw-in with a minute and a half left in this game.
Well, it's been a terrific game of football. Perhaps just a little bit of rain falling, but the skills have been all right. The pressure has been enormous by both sides. Murphy's kick across his left shoulder, not too bad towards full forward, nearly taken by Turner. Mercedes knocked it out. Was that on purpose? Gee, your heart goes into your mouth, doesn't it, if you're a supporter of the team defending those goals. But the umpire prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt, and the boundary umpire will throw it in. Carlton by 10 points, close to 1 minute left. Kernahan tries to bash it close to the line again. He's quite prepared to.
Yes, it's good play at this stage of the game by Kernahan just to run that clock down. There's only a minute 15 left. He can bash it back again. I'll run the clock back down a little further.
It's in Carlton's left forward pocket.
See, there it goes again.
Quite prepared to waste the seconds again. Murphy to Kernahan. Taken off his boot by Pryor. Pryor's kick across the full back line. Harvey in a bit of strife. Doolan nearly run down. Gets the handball back to Buick to Harvey. Harvey back to Doolan. Not bad. The ball has got to bounce favourably for him. He's in strife now. Still the ball there. Heaver tries to knock it forward. Buick back on the goal line nearly. Away goes Lucas. Finds Mercury. So we're down under a minute. The task now looks forlorn for Essendon. They need 2 goals to win the game, and there's less than a minute left. Mercury in the full-back line. He's kicking towards centre-half back as marked by Hardwick.
Hardwick needs to move it quickly. He does to Mercury. Through the centre of the ground, he's finding Lucas. Lucas can keep running with a bit of pace. The left boot. Oh. The kick looks pretty good. It's going to bounce in the square. Oh, but not good enough. They can't buy a goal, the Dons. 11 points.
Got some pace, Lucas.
9 points it is. Christou goes in short to Sexton. He won't be in a real hurry to keep the game going. Bit of experience here. Michael Sexton will kick it long and wide, because that's all over. Carlton Football Club can celebrate the success over the Essendon Football Club today with a hard, bruising tussle. An excellent exhibition of Australian rules football at the MCG today. 65,000 fans, Robbo, witnessed an exceptional game. The pace as soon as that first bounce.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much in it. I mean, Carlton kicked the first 2 goals of the game and led by 8 points at quarter time. They led by 17 at half time. They blew it out to a 5-goal advantage at 3/4 time, but to Essendon's credit, I thought the Blues would coast to victory, but Essendon just kept at them. And Don, you know, to a certain extent, Essendon would get a little bit out of that game, I would think. I mean, they had 3
Well, there was
changes.
a lot of spirit there, and they came back, and Carlton started particularly well after last week's performance against Hawthorn, and it was just, I thought, you know, they'd run away with it, but Essendon came back into it, and they really did try in the second half. They got, I think they headed Carlton in the second half, but Carlton went into the half-time break with a 17-point lead. They increased that to 20 at 3/4 time, and they've run out by 9-point winners. So it was a great effort by Essendon, and they were well in it.
Yeah, well, Heaver set them on their way, kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. Kevin Sheedy on screen there. I think he'd be, well, you're not pleased when you don't get the 4 points, but
well, next week,
was a great effort.
Essendon have West Coast at Subiaco next week, so again that'll test them, especially sitting 7th, so under a bit of pressure to stay in the 8.
Yes, I guess that Essendon would have liked to have got the 4 points. The Blues now go 6 points clear of the Bombers in the quest for top 4 position at the end of round 22. But round 17's result at the MCG on July the 27th sees the Blues in front at the end by 9 points. They kick 13-13-91. Essendon 11-16-82.